Welcome back to Over the Net podcast, where every serve matters, every rally counts, and the boys volleyball takes center stage. I'm Quinn Martinchick.
And I'm Wyatt Hanson. Today we're diving into Fossil Ridge boys varsity volleyball and what the 2026 season has in store. From off-season changes and new leadership to tough early matchups and team chemistry. We're breaking down everything happening on and over the net. Let's get into it. Today we have Brandon Pham and Braun Southworth with us today to discuss preseason outlooks.
All right. Hi, I'm Brandon. I'm a senior here at Fossil Ridge High School, and I'm a middle blocker.
I'm Braun, and I'm a senior at Fossil Ridge, and I'm an outside hitter.
How long have you both been playing volleyball at Fossil, and what level are you guys at?
We've been both playing for 2 years now on the program. Last year we were on JV, and now we're both on varsity this year.
Nice. And since you've both been playing for Fossil for a couple of years, what compelled you to try and join a new sport that you haven't played before?
I had a friend on the team that kept telling me to go to the open gyms, and I kept showing up to those, and then he told me I should try out for the team, and so I did, and the coach is also telling me to try out.
Yeah, I also had a few friends on the team, and I wasn't initially in a different spring sport, but I wanted to do something different, have a new environment with the team chemistry and all that.
You were in track, right?
Yeah, correct. I was a jumper and hurdler on varsity, but I thought it'd be fun to try something new here at Fossil for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, and then on that same page, Braun, what have you done before sports-wise at Fossil?
I did varsity football this year and last year, and that's all I've done at Fossil.
That it? Sweet.
And what part of your game has improved the most since last season?
Since last season, for sure, passing. I struggled a lot with that in season, finding confidence and just learning to find my place and where I am on the court. And over the off season, I played a lot of beach, a lot of open gyms, and that really helped my passing overall because no matter where I am on the court, I'm going to get the first touch regardless. So that has definitely been my biggest improvement so far.
Yeah, and one of my biggest improvements is hitting because last season I kept hitting the ball. I'd get the power, but I would just hit it right out the back, so I'm more accurate with my hits.
And with playing a new sport, you got new coaches, new leadership and everything. What is like the main philosophy and like what is like his teachings to you guys this year, especially as like a newer group? What has that been today? Yeah,
he's definitely just told us to put a lot of trust in his coaching for sure. I mean, past few days, it's more just like observing what our current skills are right now. But I think over the season, especially next few weeks, especially this week, matter of fact, he's just going to look a lot to like sharpening what we have already and just being like a coach pretty much. I think that last year we had some good experiences for sure, but I think when it comes down to like sharpening our skills, those definitely need to be improved. And I think this year on varsity with Coach Swatala and Coach Paul Chase as our assistant coach, it's just going to be a lot more like deeper connections with them, with our setters and all that for sure.
And then when you say like past couple of days and stuff like that, are you saying like trainings and like practices have begun?
Over tryouts for sure. That was just like where we're going to be placed on the team. But as seniors, there's not a lot of options there.
Yeah.
But they just want to see like where we're at, what like skills we are strong in, what other weaknesses that we're currently like having, like where can they be as a coach and how they can help us as an athlete.
And with those 2026 like practices and like trainings finally starting, how have you both felt so far through them?
I've been feeling pretty good. It's just, playing a fun sport, and I'm trying to focus more on my passing, which is one of my areas I need to improve in.
Yeah, for sure. It's been definitely a lot of fun. I mean, it's a new group of kids that we haven't had a ton of experience with, but they have had a ton of experience with each other. So I think it's a pretty unique group for sure. And right now, like we're all currently just fighting for a starting spot and seeing where we end up for sure. Yeah.
Do you feel like you have a pretty good connection with your team, even though you've only been playing for 2 years?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the first day I walked into that gym last year, I could just feel like the team chemistry and how everyone is interacting with each other. And I think that like we've all gotten a lot closer for sure as athletes and as just friends off the court and on the court. And I mean, we're just talking about random things like before or after practice. And it's just like, I think over the next few weeks, it's just gonna be great because we're gonna have a lot of fun, compete, and just overall have an exciting season.
Yeah, because it's like a brotherhood. Like
Right, yeah.
you and your team have to develop like chemistry together. You have to develop relationships to be able to trust one another on and off the court. So just I don't know, just with everything is, especially early in the season, those are the most important things to work on.
Right, for sure. And like I said, I started off in track, and that was a great social scene. But I think playing a team sport like this, where I have other people to rely on with their areas, I think it's just a lot more connections that I need to build. And yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and on that, we have some areas that make it a little bit harder to develop team chemistry because we have a freshman on varsity, we have a sophomore on varsity, and then we have people come from two different schools, and not everyone goes to the same school. So we definitely will have good team chemistry, but not as good as it can be because of those limiting factors.
And Fossil's facing some stronger teams earlier in the season. So how do you think you guys and your team will deal with that?
Yeah, we face off against Legacy on March 3rd, March 2nd, something like that. Yeah, it's whatever that Tuesday is. And then face against Mountain Vista on that Thursday. Both are top 8 teams in the state. Those are going to be really fierce competitors for sure because Legacy didn't lose a ton of seniors. And then Vista is just consistently a powerhouse in the state. And I think that we as a team just need to work together, make sure that as long as everyone does their part, then everyone else can show off what they can do for sure. And I think building the momentum, those 2 games will be the strongest part. I mean, both are home games. Both will have a ton of excitement around it. I think as long as we keep momentum, keep the energy going with all of our teammates and the bench, student section, I think those 2 will be good games for sure. And I think we can definitely compete against those 2 top 8 teams.
Yeah, and we touched on this last episode with Jason, but with facing these strong teams early and having a pretty new varsity lineup with players that haven't played varsity or haven't started varsity, how is it going to be trying to come all together as a team while going into these really hard matchups early on?
I think that with having, 3 returning starters and 9 brand new kids on varsity, it's going to be definitely tough. We have all this week to show what we can do to our coaches. And I think as long as we put a lot of trust in Swatala and Coach Paul about what we can do and what they can do, that'll be hard to beat for sure.
And then especially at least with volleyball being, especially boys volleyball, not being a very, I guess, popular sport, or like a lot of students at school or fans don't really watch it or pay attention to it. What is like things that fans should watch for in your guys' games if they do, and like what should they watch for to look forward to coming to watch? I
mean, volleyball is an interesting sport to watch. It's just kind of not one of those popular ones that you're like incentivized to watch. But it's fun watching, the powerful hits, the good blocks. It's just a fun game to watch and more fun to play.
Yeah, I touched up on this with Jason a few weeks ago about how volleyball is it's multiple games in one pretty much. I mean, you have 3 sets, 25 points each set. Like each point is practically a different game. Someone starts off different, someone is receiving. It's like pretty much really exciting because you don't know what's going to happen. I mean, with other sports, it takes a while to see results like a touchdown or a goal. But with volleyball, something's going to happen regardless and within like a minute. So I think our team especially has huge blockers. I mean, Josh is 6'7", and Hugh is 6'9". We have huge guys up front. Our blocks are going to be really gross. We have really big hitters for sure. I'm really excited to see what our team can pull off because like you said, we have a lot of new kids coming in, a lot of new faces on varsity. There's not a lot that people know about us, I feel like, because a few of us played JV last year, some played club. They don't really know what our faces look like and what our strengths are. And I think that, especially against these top 2 teams, against Vista and Legacy, they don't know what's about to hit them for sure. So, yeah.
Yeah, and of course you're going to have a lot of confidence in your team, but being new, there's going to be some realistic setbacks. So I just want to ask, what are your guys' realistic goals for what's going to happen this season? Are you thinking playoffs? Are you thinking deeper than that? What are you thinking?
I think we'll make the regional playoffs for sure. That's not an issue. I think that currently we're not ranked in the top 10 as of last Thursday, I think, of the preseason polls, but I think we'll end up somewhere close at least to that. I mean, teams in this year are still really good, really gross, really nasty teams, but I think that because we lost so many seniors last year, we fell off the board a little bit, but I think they're not really ready to see what we can do as a team.
And then being student athletes, how have you guys handled the workload that's come with playing a sport, and how have you balanced the steps needed for future college applications and scholarships?
I've already gotten to the colleges I'd want to get into. So my school schedule is very light with a weight class and catering and the rest of the day off. So volleyball is pretty much my only priority right now. So I can just focus mainly on that.
Yeah. And then are you wanting to continue volleyball into college, or is it kind of just get the experience in high school, make some friends, and then move it to a past, I guess?
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things where it's I'm not going to try it probably outside of high school. I wasn't doing any other spring sports. So I just thought, volleyball is kind of just a fun thing I've been thinking about doing for a few years before I tried it.
Mm-hmm. I have 2 other APs right now, and currently I have one TA period and one off period. I think those times I can find myself doing homework or working on scholarships. I've already finished all my college applications in the fall. So right now I'm currently awaiting on decisions and scholarship applications. I think volleyball for me is it's a great opportunity. I mean, I've been in a lot of different open gyms. I've been in a lot of different beach tournaments and grass tournaments, and I see people of all ages, from people younger than me to people who are past 60 at least. I think I'll definitely find myself at least going to beach tournaments and whatnot when I'm older, and then in college maybe even joining an intramural team or just playing around for fun. And I mean, having these skills would be great for sure. So I'm really excited.
Yeah, and you can see the duality of being a senior in high school between you two. We have one guy who has very light classes and just focuses on one area, while another has hard AP classes while also balancing the same sport. It's just cool to see the amount of different kinds of people that can still find common ground with certain things and different playing a sport or things like that.
Yeah, for sure.
And then how do you think that reflects the younger players on the team? So you have obviously other teams that are the freshmen, sophomores, and they're going to be looking up to you this year. How do your morals, do you think they're going to reflect on them?
Yeah, for sure. I think that since we were on JV last year, we were definitely having a lot of connections with underclassmen, with sophomores and freshmen. And I think that going into this year as varsity athletes, we need to step up our game more, show what we can do and what our trust in coaches shows and represents us as a team. And I think that I want them to have confidence too. I want them to be oh, we are in a good program. We are in good hands. I see no reason why I shouldn't play in the next coming years. And I don't see no reason why we shouldn't be a winning team in the next coming years. So I think the legacy I want to leave off as a senior with these underclassmen is just be confident and have fun. So yeah.
So now that we've grilled you with questions on your team and how you feel and what's the lead up into the season, I want to go back and kind of ask a very basic question about volleyball. What is your guys' favorite aspect of the sport that you guys play?
My favorite aspect is getting a big block or a really powerful hit.
Yeah, for sure. I think just having a nice banger of a hit, having really good block, because I mean, those just get momentum going. When you get your whole bench up, when they're all screaming, it's a great feeling for sure. And I'm
because
really
with team sports, it's definitely, there's a big difference between when you're either not doing great or your team's not full of energy compared to when your team really is full of energy. And I've also experienced that firsthand with a couple sports that I've played. But it definitely makes a difference when you feel like everybody around you is hyped up, they're pumped up, they're ready to pretty much die for you on the court or wherever it is. And yeah, it's just kind of a surreal experience for sure.
Yeah, I think that especially these newer upcoming players on varsity, like I think if we can just show off and make big plays, like it's just gonna be great for the whole team because it shows like what we can do even though we're still pretty fresh and new. I mean, some of the kids on the team have been playing with each other for what, 4 years now?
Yeah,
like,
something like that.
Like, yeah, Jason and Josh have been setting each other since like freshman year. They play on club, like they almost play year round too. They play on club teams together. Like they've played for each other, not just like for themselves, but for each other for many years. And that's a lot of trust they've built in each other. And I'm really excited to see that happen this year.
Mm-hmm. And now you get to be a part of that.
Right.
Build
Yeah.
a bond.
And then with Fossil's volleyball team being relatively new, of only 2 years old. It used to be a district team,
Right.
even though Fossil still hosted it. And with having that and that kind of a relatively new program, what kind of impact do you both want to leave on this program after you leave and after you're done?
I mean, there's a wall outside of our athletic hall that's just got all the first team conference. I want to be on that wall for sure. I want to have my name in green stuck on that wall, and that's a really big goal I have for the season. But also, just like I said, with these younger kids, like they don't know so much about volleyball, and they don't know as much about the team itself because it's really new. First off, and I just want to make a big impact on like team environment, team spirit, and just being like a leader. I think that was something we lacked last year on the JV team for sure, because we had a lot of differences because a lot of them were just new. A lot of us were just new kids. We've never really touched the ball before. And I think that like showing that I can be a leader on and off the court with my skill set will just be a great thing to have for the rest of the upcoming years.
Yeah, I think it'd be really cool to get my name up there again for I got already up there once for football on the all conference board. And I think it'd be really cool to get up there for volleyball because that's like a very different sport from football, and I could just show my diversity as an athlete.
Yeah, and I just want like boys volleyball to be a bigger name. I mean, I just thought it was like a really niche sport, and then I got to try. I was like, wow, this is amazing. This is fun. I mean, like 3 practices a week, 2 games. Like it's just a lot of excitement going around. And I think like I want to be a bigger name. I want like huge team. I mean, for tryouts, we don't have to cut anybody because we don't have enough kids to cut. So everybody makes a team, and I want it to be upcoming years be like loaded gym. I want Swatala to be sweating about how many kids there are in the gym. And yeah, for sure. And something that we've been struggling as a team with apparently was funding. Apparently, like we basically have to afford everything other than bus rides. Everything has to be up to us, like uniforms, team dinners, all the fun stuff really. Like it's all up to us as a team. And I think like I want the name of boys volleyball to be bigger so that we can have more funding as a team and just have better experiences for sure.
Yeah, because that's just the main issue with smaller sports
Right.
At your school is the funding's an issue. Pretty much everything's an issue. It feels like everything's stacked against you just because you chose to play a sport that not everybody else knows.
Right, exactly.
And just dealing with that, dealing with the adversity from that is just kind of a big hill you have to come across.
It's also like not many people show up to the games, so the game doesn't bring in as much revenue as other sports. Like if you go to a basketball game, the stands are packed. If you go to a volleyball game, you can use a handful of people there.
Yeah. I watched like a YouTube video on 2 of the top teams in the nation who played in California and SoCal. Like their student section was bigger than any of our basketball student sections. Like it was insane. I think it's such a fun, exciting sport that like once people like watch it, they're like, wow, either I want to play it or I want to watch it again because it's really that exciting to watch and it's just super fun.
Yeah.
It's also one of those sports that's like the whole thing could last 30 minutes. It could be 2 hours. There's no set time on how long the games take. And there's I'd say at least 10 exciting moments per match.
Right. It's like,
and then there's 3 matches.
Yeah, like highlight reels after highlight reels. Like if you go on like a huddle for like any guy's team, it's literally just like 10 digs, 10 kills, 10 blocks. It's just like crazy. It's super fun though.
And then as we're coming to the end of our episode here, with having, I guess, a smaller sport and less people on it and less people know about it, what is your advice to the people out there who want to try and join a sport like this, who don't have anything to do, or like have always thought about it but never thought because their friends aren't doing it or because it's not very popular that they're kind of scared to go out and try it? What is your advice to those kids that want to but just don't really have the heart to?
Yeah, I would just say do it. It's like, why not? I mean, you only have 4 years in high school. There's not a lot of time you have. Like, personally, like when I switched from track to volleyball, even though like I didn't really have a reason to, I think I felt like I needed to, because I just thought I needed something new. I wanted to try something new, I think. And I have no regrets. I couldn't even see myself running on the track if I wanted to. I'd only see myself jumping up on the court. I think it's just really fun to have an exciting team like experience. And it's a great sport to try out like first, because it's a team sport. It's like only 4 fundamental skills you really need to learn. And I think we have great coaches here at Fossil. Like, no one on the team doesn't know what they're doing. Everyone knows like what the skill sets need to be taught at which level and all that. So I think my advice is just like do it, because why not? There's really not enough time for us to not do things we don't want to do.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people that they graduated early or they just decided to not play a sport, and I ask them about it and they always regret it. Every single person wishes they played the sport or they just stuck with it another year or just tried something new out. But, you know, you only have, like Brandon said, you only have 4 years to try stuff out, and then it's going to be harder to fit that into your life later on.
Yeah, I feel that in my own life too, is because I quit football after my sophomore year, after our JV team went 0-10. And, you know, junior year, I was like, okay, I'm kind of glad I'm not playing this. Like, it was a huge burden. It was a huge kind of like stressor in my life. But definitely as I became a senior and as I went to the games and watched it, I'm like, how badly I like really wanted to be out there, and like how badly I missed playing like a competitive sport and being out there with my boys, like competing at a pretty high level, and just, I don't know, just having something to do. And now high school's pretty much almost over and I can never get that back.
There's just a lot of opportunities that we like, especially as Fossil Ridge. I mean, we have a ton of clubs, some sports, like every opportunity we have at Fossil, like we need to be taking. And I think it's like, it's not negotiable. Sport, club, theater, orchestra, no matter what, I think anyone will find their place here, and I think it'll be super fun to do no matter what they do.
Yeah, it seems like despite your guys' differences, as players and as a team, you all figured out how to come together and still play the season out. And it sounds like you have great chemistry built up. But that's going to wrap up today's episode of Over the Net podcast. Huge thanks to Fam and Braun for taking the time to talk with us and give us insights of the upcoming season. We'll be back throughout the year breaking down matches, big moments, and everything happening on and over the net. If you've enjoyed today's episode, be sure to tune into next time. I'm Quinn Martinchick.
And I'm Wyatt Hanson.
And we'll see you next time on Over the Net podcast.